Yeah, so Courtney, the live caption, I was able to change the language, but it'll change the caption will change for everyone in the meeting.
Okay. Um, I mean, we can try that, but I don't think it's gonna translate to Spanish. I may be wrong. So is it on Spanish now?
I'm about to go and try to change the settings because it gave us that option at first.
Okay, I can try
Language
it.
settings. Here I go. I'm gonna change it to Spanish right now.
Okay, I just changed it. So let's see.
Oh,
Test,
okay.
test, test. Hello, my name is Courtney.
And my name is Kyle.
And thank you for joining us tonight. So, yes, we need to change it back to English. It's not going to translate automatically.
No. Okay. All right. I'll change it back to English. Okay, it's back to English. It's back to English. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it's
Thank you for your
6:01. Yeah, sure. Um, Thank you all for joining. We are going to get started in probably another 2 minutes to let folks have an opportunity to join.
Okay, Priscilla, ready to go.
And I'm going to do the obligatory virtual meeting announcement and just ask everyone to mute themselves until you're actually ready to for us to hear everything that you have to say and everything in your background. So thank you. We can also be muting you on the side as well. Thanks.
It could have been that the child went home and told her. I didn't ask, but it was brought to my attention.
Also, if I have some DAC delegates on, if you could go ahead and drop your name and school in the chat, that would be great. So DAC delegates, please drop your name and school in the chat. We like to record how many DAC delegates we have present at every meeting. So it helps with our record keeping. Thank you all. And Brittany, whenever you're ready to get started,
All
we can
right.
start. Actually, oh, I'm sorry.
What were you saying?
I was going to do my little housekeeping first, but if you're ready to get started, I can do that.
No, you can go ahead with the housekeeping.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. Again, my name is Courtney Adams, Family and Community Engagement Manager. Thank you for joining our DAC General Body Meeting today. I know there was a last minute pivot. We just were not sure what the roads were going to be like. And we also know it can be challenging when your kiddos are home from school and you might not have had power and a lot of things are happening. So we wanted to make it as convenient as possible. So thank you for pivoting and still joining us tonight. I am going to ask again that everyone just stay muted until you raise your hand, and then we will acknowledge you. And then you can take yourself off mute. We'll take questions at the end of the presentations. You can also always put your questions in the chat. We had intended to have Spanish interpretation and but we had some technical difficulties and weren't able to make that happen. But I am going to put the Spanish slides in the chat now. And if you can scroll up in the chat, you'll see a message from Jose Flores letting you know what's going on too. So you can put your email, we can mail you the presentation. And then Jose, Ricardo, I'm going to paste this again a little later down in the chat, just in case anybody joins and doesn't scroll all the way up. But again, thank you all for joining. And we will go ahead and get started. Brittany.
Thank you for that, Courtney. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the March District Advisory Committee meeting. I cannot believe that we are in March already. Time is flying by. But I personally wanted to thank everyone again for the shift to the virtual format. I know the cold and the AMI days, a lot goes on. So whether you're joining from your living room, your office, I hope you guys are warm, safe, or probably with a hot drink in your hand too. Though we're not in person, I really like to urge everyone that our mission will still remain the same. Let's collaborate, share insights on what our school is going through, and pretty much keep your voice in mind. Tonight we have a lot of important presentations and discussions, and everyone's voices are welcome, but then they're essential. So let's just dive in. Whoops. With our, oh, this is sensitive. With our agenda. So, as usual, as we'll do it in our in-person meeting, we have time for 2 testimonials. So, if there's any school in the chat or if there's any delegate would like to give a verbal report on anything that's fun happening in your school, please raise your hand so we can give you the floor. And Courtney, I know I have the little view in the corner, so if I miss someone, please give them an okay to go.
Yes. I don't see any raised hands just yet. Oh, Miss Bradford. Go ahead
Okay,
and
Miss
take yourself
Bradford.
off mute, please. Thank you. And then JC Carmen will be our second one. Thank you all.
All
Hi,
right.
I'm Janaya. I'm the DAC delegate for Garfield. Garfield, in the month of February, we wrapped up a Black History music performance. We combined our orchestra, music, and band for a night of celebration of African American history. And we continue to have Snack Fridays. Our kids are really excited. We do them every other Friday. And it's just a way to encourage kids to come to school and get snacks during their lunchtime.
That's fun. Thank you for that update at Garfield. And JC, you're up next.
Hey, so I'm in FLA and our school is doing a virtual book club this month. It's National Reading Month. And basically how it's going to work at our school is on our PTO Facebook page, which is a closed group. Parents can upload videos of their child reading a book. in Spanish or Mandarin, and it's just to promote reading and hearing them speak the language. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool. Thank you for the update at FLA. That sounds like something that's really good and really informative. I feel like a lot of kids can join in for that. So thank you for that. And I wanted to give an update. A small group of DAC members got the chance to go to Northeast Middle School and to collaborate with the face there, Miss Melanie Gomez, and it was an amazing time. FLA, Northeast Middle. They're doing a Caring for Kids presentation. So we got to collaborate with the community and other organizations to see how we could come together as parents, as caregivers, as community members to really be a part of the students' lives there. We will send out an email on the 27th of March at 10 a.m. We will do a school tour at Northeast. So if that's something that interests you, reply back to the letter. It's really informal. The students will be showing us around, and that is something that we're really looking forward to. And it's something that we care about as the DAC-X committee, being able to really go into these schools and see how we could be of help and service to them. And if anyone would like to visit us to come and do a visit at our school, please drop that in the chat or in our email and let us know, and we can get that set up too. And up next, we have some words from our board of directors, Joshua Jackalay, Jamaica Kendrick, and Mr. Robert Sagatume. You guys have the floor.
I am not seeing that any of them are on yet. And so, oh, okay. So there might have been a technical issue with
Tech issues.
folks having difficulty logging in. Thank you, Abigail, for letting us know that. But we'll just move on. And if we see them hop on here,
Flag me
while
down.
we're still on the meeting, we'll circle back. Oh, thanks, Sarah. We won't be looking for Joshua then.
Sige. May God
Oh.
you.
All right. So right now we have an update on the Go Bond from Miss Nicole Collier-White.
Thank you. Afternoon, everybody. Excited to bring you our, I think we come every single time now to talk about the bond and to provide you with an update. If you can go to the next slide for me. I think we are like 30 some odd days, friends, until we are headed to that April 8th vote. If you did not know, on April 8th,
Are you ready to do? Sorry.
KCPS is proposing a $474 million general obligation fund. That money is going to be used to fund critical improvements for KCPS. We're building 2 new schools, co-locating some schools, and every single KCPS site is getting a minimum of $5 million. We haven't passed a bond in Kansas City since 1967. All of our buildings are old, as you all know. We have a lot of deferred maintenance, as you all know. So us and our charter partners are going to be pursuing this bond on April 8th. Next slide. So wanted to let you know, since the last time we spoke, there is a brand new bond website. So you can go to kcpsbond.org. Good thing about that is you can actually see all of the proposed projects for your school. So if you work at Faxon Elementary, you can log into Faxon and kind of see your proposed projects there. If you're at Garfield, every single KCPS site, how much money you're getting and all of the projects that are going to take place at your school are listed on the website. There's also a really great feature if you want to get involved. So you can actually, you can go to the next slide for me. Thank you. If you go to get involved, it's going to show you kind of a, do you want to go into the ambassador toolkit? So that picture on the left is the district toolkit. So it's going to have a bond video if you want to share that with your friends, family, neighbors, if you need the flyer, if you need an FAQ, if you're confused about some things and you want to see information on the bond, all of that information is going to be located in that toolkit. So that information readily available, really great, easy to access. On the right, that picture just kind of showing all the projects that I mentioned. So you click your school, and it expands down. So like you see Paseo's getting 7 million, recommended bond projects, all of those things are listed there. Next slide. So what's next? Next slide. All right, so I think I brought this to you guys last time, thinking through the engagement timeline and tasks. So in January, we started our digital campaign where you started seeing posts online. We started doing some trainings with our ambassadors. So they knew how to talk about the bond and share the feedback with their friends and families. We had some public endorsements. So the city, the mayor came out, the chamber, More Squared, Freedom Inc., a whole bunch of great organizations kind of came out and started talking about their endorsement. And then we had information on School Saturday. In February, we just ended with our round 1 and round 2 direct mail campaign. I hope all of you received information in your mail. So we were targeting most likely voters. So if you have voted in the last 3 elections in April, you would have received something in the mail. We did some more paid digital campaigns, really started pushing on social media, and then really doing voter registration. So this week and next week, we have the NAACP coming out to all of our high schools, talking to our seniors, juniors. So if they were 18 and up, we were trying to get all of them registered by March 12th. So if you, a family member, a friend, a neighbor, whoever is not registered to vote and you would like to take, someone muted me, sorry, and you would like to take part on April 8th, then you have to be registered by next Wednesday, March 12th. So this is March now. So we're going to do one more mailer, keep doing some digitals, keep doing some social pushes. Hopefully you all saw, there should be like a board in your schools talking about how much you're getting, the projects. We've sent each school some cool things to put in their front yard so they can kind of see some signs outside. So we're going to keep doing that. Staff push, bus tour, hopefully an open house on the 22nd. So we're planning that. There's a lot of really, really, really good, amazing things kind of happening just to educate our families and the community. Next slide. All right, here's where you all come in. Help us spread the word. So if you want to do some social gatherings, there are already some parent groups that have been hosting meetings where parents can come learn more. They learn how to advocate. I see Sarah posted in the chat that some Hale Cook families are organizing some things on a Saturday. You can do more things like that. If you are part of a civic club, a sorority, a social club, and you want to share information, we can provide you with handouts, flyers, all that. Informational materials, all of that is online. But if you're like, I'm not printing all those things, just say, hey, Nicole, Courtney, we need you to print out 50 flyers so I can go to this meeting. And we will 100% do that. And you can come pick them up and spread the word. Social media campaigns, feel free to like, share all the avenues that you're seeing information from the district about the bond. So if you're seeing it on Facebook, X, Instagram, however, feel free to share that information. And then the last thing, please register to vote. It is so crucial, so important that you are registered to vote, you take part civically, and that doesn't matter if you vote yes or no, just to be able to take part in that action is so crucial and important. So if you are interested, you don't know your voter registration status, you don't know where your polling location is, this information right here, govotemissouri.com, you can actually go online there, register, learn where your polling place is, get additional information, because again, the last day to register to vote is March 12th. So if you know a student that's 18 and up that's not registered, you are not registered, please let us know and we will do our best to help get you registered so that you can take part on April 8th. And I think that's my last slide. Yep, so if you want to learn more, kcpsbond.org. It's got so much great information on there. If you need assistance, if you can't find something and you're wanting more information, let us know. But that's a really great resource to find out about the projects going on in your building.
Nicole, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you elaborate on what the bus tour is that's happening on the 22nd? Where will we be going?
Yes, so we are still working out details, but what we're thinking, we're going to pick a couple of different schools on a Saturday, invite people to take a bus tour, just to park in front of the building, go inside, see the condition, have conversation about how the bond will impact that building. So we're probably going to do 2 schools from KCPS and then one of the partnering charter schools that's going to be involved. A lot of times people just have no clue what our buildings look like. They don't have kids in our system or they graduated a long time ago. And instead of just hearing it from you and I, we thought just welcome them on in the door. So I think we're going to pick a couple of different schools. We've already done a tour in the Northeast in December. So we'll probably pick a couple of schools in our central zone and in the southern zone.
Thank you.
Of course.
And I see Michelle Dickerson with a question.
Yes, my question was, yard signs, about maybe 5, were delivered to the school building. Were
Yes.
those to be put outside our building, or were those to be given out to parents?
Outside your building. Outside your building.
Thank you.
Yes, good question. That way, when folks drive up to come pick up or drop off their babies or come to a special program, they'll be, reminded of the lovely April 8th vote coming up. So all of our schools had the lovely yard signs dropped off this week.
Thank you, Nicole. I really enjoyed the flyers that you guys sent out. It really put into words when the last time we had a bond. Like I really enjoyed the one was the Chiefs were in the Super Bowl for the first time, and the Big Mac came out. So that was really cool.
Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it.
All right. And up next, we have Elisa with voter phone banking efforts. And please correct me if I said your name incorrectly.
Alicia, are you on? I don't see her. So we will move on. That was me you heard in the background trying to reach her. And I spoke with her, but I guess she didn't have a chance to hop on. She is there making calls. She's at the BOE making calls when I left. So I'll take it from here. Every year, I attempt to gather feedback from this group and the DAC during for our March meeting, so that when we're in their summer, so that during the summer, I can incorporate all of your feedback about how family engagement is going at your school, what challenges you've had, what barriers you've had, what suggestions and recommendations you can make for the district in terms of how we can better partner with you to help you better support your students. So I wanted to, it was going to be a little more fun if we were in person having discussion, but we'll do the best that we can here today. So I'm going to pose some questions and we can have open discussion, but I also want to make sure that as you think on some of the recommendations and suggestions that you have, you can leave those with me. So you can scan that QR code. I will also put a link to a feedback form in the chat once I finish. And or you can just email it to me at cadams1. So I'm looking at by April the 11th. I would love to be able to come back at our last meeting of the year, our May 1st meeting, and be able to share some of the feedback that we've gotten and kind of what things we're thinking about incorporating into the next year. But again, we'll be doing, some evaluation and assessment of programs, policies, practices, the different things we do at the school level and the district level. And so then we'll spend the time in the summer really working through what adjustments we can make to be able to be responsive to what you're seeing and what you're feeling. So thank you, Sarah. And someone had a question really quick about the yard signs, I think, so I was going to go back. yard signs, the Yes campaign had yard signs. They had a campaign kickoff event over the weekend and they had yard signs. Our schools only got 4. And they're a different type of yard sign, very much more informative versus advocating for any type of support of the bond, which is all we're able to do from the district lens. But we may have some extras. So check with your school if you're interested in, and when I say like we have a small amount, I'm talking like maybe 30. So if you are really interested in the yard sign, if you could email me at cadams1, I will put my email address in the chat and we can see if we have enough yard signs. Okay. Thank you everyone for putting this information in the chat. Y'all are the best. This is like a community and I love it. Okay. So my first question for you all, and if you could, you can raise your hand and then I'll acknowledge you, or you can just put your feedback in the chat, or again, you can fill out the feedback form. But what are some of the barriers to family involvement and families feel being able to really support their students' learning, being a part of their school community? What are some things that you've seen? What are some things that you've experienced as parents and guardians and caregivers? Yes, ecstasy.
Hi, first of all, thank you all for doing this and hosting this. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. One of the barriers I find as a working full-time mother of 3 and all under elementary age is when there are professional development days or AMI days, which I totally, let me first say, I completely understand the reason and support it when it's for safety and professional development of our teachers to better impart on our students. But it is a challenge when we have to stay at home and work from home and are also tasked with teaching our students, our children. Again, I want to make sure I emphasize I completely understand it. I completely agree with it. It's just a challenge. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. For the AMI today, we did not do any of the AMI work because I had a lot of work to do at my job. So that's the main challenge I'm experiencing as a parent.
Thank you for sharing that. I don't think I see a lot of nods. I see a lot of hand claps. I think that you are certainly not alone in that. So thank you for sharing that. There was, I don't know if anybody else had their hand raised. Okay, Ms. Bradford.
Yes. I would think another barrier that it would be that we want to host clubs, but there's no money to host them or to get staff to stay to host the clubs. It's really hard to get families involved when we only do like one hold on, I'm talking. When we only do maybe like something once every month, but if we had a club that met weekly, I feel like we would get more families involved in the school and their children's learning.
Okay, thank you. Brittany, and if you see me looking down, I'm just taking notes.
Okay.
Brittany.
Courtney, I have a comment from the community. There are times where there are family engagements like PTO, parent SAC meetings going on at one school while I have a child at a different campus. So I guess different scheduling.
Got it. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, DeMarco and Dorothy, I'm going to just read your comments from the chat. Communication barriers, so I think probably language accommodations and transportation. It's very hard to communicate and engage parents when there's a language barrier. Okay, so maybe having some additional language support and maybe more staff who can communicate with families in their native language. Parents sometimes feel intimidated to connect with educators openly. Okay. And as I'm reading these things, if you all have some suggestions or recommendations for the district, please share those too. So ways that we can address some of these challenges around support for the AMI days and the funding and teacher and family support for the clubs, and kind of how we can schedule parent organization meetings and events kind of as a district so that you don't have so many overlapping, especially maybe when you're in the same feeder zone. So where you might have parents with kiddos of different ages and different schools. JC Carmen, need more transparency on school policies, need to meet regularly with families with childcare, announced by the semester. So are you saying announcing, making sure that families have scheduled dates in advance for events, meetings, and activities? And you can just give me a thumbs up if that's what you're saying, or you can just take it, yep, or you put yourself off mute.
Yes, I was saying it's hard for families to plan when they don't know when a meeting is, but if they got a schedule in August and then again in January of all the meetings for the whole semester, paired with some cool, childcare, that could be really helpful to plan.
Yeah, thank you. I think that's
And
great
really,
idea.
really quickly, Courtney, I think last year, it might have been last year or the year before that,
Year
we
before
partnered with
Boys and Girls.
Link. Yeah, with Link and Boys and Girls Club to do childcare on PD days. But I don't think enough people took part. And so I think that's why they moved away from it this year. So maybe if we worked with DAC directly to share that information, to get families signed up in advance, that maybe it would be something that they would entertain again next year.
Yes, thank you for that. And then ecstasy, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna just read a couple more of these from the chat. Parents feel that they don't have time to discuss their concerns, often because they do not believe the school realizes that they can take baby steps and slowly improve. Thanks, Dorothy. Lack of transportation, childcare at BOE meetings. You use that saying, or Brittany, are you saying like that's a good thing? I think we do try to provide childcare. Maybe, I don't know if that's provided at the school level. Can you
I don't
provide
know
some?
if we do it at BOE meetings,
What's
unless it's on the
board
road.
meetings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that comes
Board
with
meetings.
from the
Okay, I'm sorry. I
board.
just
Yeah.
thought you meant meetings. I'm sorry,
Yep,
Brittany.
we
Got
only
it.
do
Thanks,
them if
Nicole.
it's on the road. Yeah.
Okay, so a way
Okay, thank
for more families would be able to attend board meetings and hear a lot of the information monthly that's affecting their families if they attend, if we have childcare or board meetings. Roger that. Thank you, Lauren. Confusion over the volunteer portal and what to do after that. Okay, so I think that's something my department can definitely tackle, in making sure that volunteers or interested volunteers are aware of the process and the next steps, and they have the right contact person at the school to be supported through that process. Yes. I'm reading silently and I'm just in agreement with you. Coordinating parent meetings with events. I think that's one thing we share with schools a lot as a way to get more participation, because I may not be able to come to a meeting and to watch my student perform for orchestra. So if I have to choose, I'm probably going to choose watching the orchestra performance. But if we can schedule our parent organization meetings and some of the other meetings in coordination with those events, parents are able, guardians are able to maybe do both of those things. So thank you. And collaborating with leaders. Oh, these are some great ideas. I'm gonna scroll down and get to our next question. Yes, Ms. Thomas, I see same thing around support during days off. So yes, 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 yes. We can definitely share that with district team. Okay. I am going to, let me get Sarah really quick and ecstasy really quick, and then we'll go to the next one. Thank you guys. This is wonderful input. Thank you so much.
Thank you. This isn't really about like parents engaging with the schools or with school events necessarily, but as a parent who's pretty involved with the PTA, and I serve as a room parent, so I feel like that at our school is kind of a crucial role in ideally helping other parents, like in the classrooms, get involved, other parents to kind of get involved in PTA activities or get involved with each other. One of the big barriers that we have at our school is the district policy to not share family contact information, because we don't really have the ability to reach out to other families directly. We have to rely on teachers to ask parents to share that voluntarily, and sometimes that just is not an effective way to get that information. So we are kind of limited in our abilities to effectively reach out to families who might not be actively seeking that engagement. And I think that we could do a lot more if we had more access to family contact information.
If I can piggyback on something that our PTA did, my son goes to Hell Cook, and at the beginning of the year, the PTA came out with like a family dictionary where at the beginning of the year, every child had a form. You can get the parents' email, whatever they're comfortable with, phone number, and once you gathered all the information, every child had a packet. So that's how my son joined soccer, because we connected to another parent. So that may be something that you guys can implement, and it has helped a lot that our PTA did that. It was a little sheet, your name, do you have kids, and you have littles in different grades, and we had a family dictionary that some opted in, some opted out, but it was all voluntary.
I think that's a great idea. And the more school staff and support staff can incorporate that into what happens, some of their activities at the beginning of the year. So when you have a ton of families show up to your back to school nights, if that's one of those things that you just have families fill out to be a part of the like the parent directory. So it's a great idea. Thank you all. I'm going to move to the next question. And how can we better support you with assisting in supporting your student at home? So how can we help you engage better with your school personnel and your teachers better, more frequently, more positive interactions? And I'm gonna head back to the chat. Okay, Hill Cook also has a family director. Oh, I think it's the same school. Love it.
I would also add in if you need assistance with parent-teacher conferences. I know sometimes it's a little intimidating not knowing what to ask. And we have a lot of families that come in October and not very many that come in the spring. And maybe that's because you're not getting enough information from teachers, so you don't know that it's a good idea to come to both. And so just how can we better assist you or equip you with knowing what to ask and how to advocate for your child?
Prior to the parent-teacher conferences, I think that teachers should send home a progress report so parents can then take that progress report and take that to ask the questions, and they can say, hey, bring this to a parent-teacher conference with you, because oftentimes parents, as a parent, we don't know. If you're not engaged, like I'm engaged with my students at both of their schools, but if I'm not an engaged parent where I just can't make it due to work or whatever personal reasons, then I don't know. So then I'm left in the dark.
So providing more guidance and support to our school staff around our expectations around sharing that information ahead of time and giving families some tips and things to ask. So here's an assessment. Here's where your student is.
Not just tips on what to ask personally about my child. Give me information about my child.
Okay.
Because I don't know about what's happening with my child until parent teachers conference. And if I could kind of get the information prior to, like, okay, this is some things that this is where your child is now. Please look over this and bring your questions to parent teacher conference.
Got it.
So
instead
I can
of
be better
getting that information right then and trying to figure it
right,
out.
because you only got like 10 minutes with your child's teacher. So in that 10 minutes, I'm trying to listen to what you tell me, regurgitate it, and then I'm trying to ask you questions about my child. And maybe I don't think about it until I get home. And sometimes getting a hold to them on talking points, or I know in the middle school it's difficult because we're trying to navigate 6 different teachers. So it's difficult then because I'm asking through talking points. You're trying to figure out what's the best way to contact the teacher. Oh, this teacher don't like talking points. This teacher wants you to email. By the time I've done all of that, I am exhausted. It's mentally draining. So they have to have a centralized standard for this is how you're going to communicate with the teacher. And also the standard of giving parents information on this is where your scholar is right now. please make sure you look over this and bring this to parent-teacher conference so we can have a better engagement.
And really leverage that short time that you have.
Right,
Thank you.
right.
I am,
It looks like there's some
No, you're fine.
Ms.
issues.
Mack.
Lauren
Yes.
Lauren kind of agreed and said a lot of parents don't log into Infinite Campus. And so having that printed out report or having something sent to you is a lot easier than navigating that system.
Infinite Campus is horrible to navigate. My child is at Lincoln Middle School and I have one at Faxon. Infinite Campus does not give you everything you need to know. When I go to Infinite Campus and then the teacher say, well, they have to turn this in Canvas. The district has too many ways for students to turn in information and for parents to help their child from the at-home point. It has to be a standard. You go to Infinite Campus and this is where you find everything. But because there's so many ways to navigate, or that teachers have a way that they want to do things, the district doesn't have a standard or they don't practice the standard, as a parent, it is frustrating.
Heard that, and I see a lot of hand claps as well, and hearts. So I think that it is a sentiment experienced by, a good number of families. And again, we're going to take all of this back and make the recommendations that we can and the changes that we can. I'm going to ask okay. I had Lisa Gooden and an NR. NR, you want to take yourself off mute first? I saw your hand first.
Yes, I just wanted to add to what was said, that they do need to just pick one platform to communicate to all parents, because it is very difficult to reach out every single teacher, and even for students, because there's times that teachers post on Canvas and others post on a different platform, and it's very hard sometimes even for students to keep up and track with all of their work. And sometimes I feel like they have missing assignments because they just have to be going through so many platforms just to get their work done.
Right, right. Thank you. Lisa Gooden.
Everything I was going to say has just been said about the multiple platforms. So yeah, I just echo that I don't mind getting onto Canvas. I just wish that everything was there. And even if they have another learning platform, I know they have textbooks and everything. If it could all be on Canvas and then linked, every assignment is on Canvas and linked. But yeah, just like everyone said, it's very hard to keep up, especially at the middle school level, with all the different platforms.
Thank you. Jasmine Thomas.
I'm sorry, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna piggyback off of them, but mine is with the high school. As far as them locking the assignments when it's due, it's an issue. That's all.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to go to the chat now. I don't see any more hands raised. Building relationships with parents throughout the school year, having that positive communication, positive regular communication with parents. Thank you, Dorothy, Miss Earl. Yep, I think we just heard that Infinite Campus is not always updated. Issue with multiple platforms, so you have to check so many different things, and things might say they're missing when they're not missing. So a better job with our teaching staff about timely logging assignments and grades. Sarah, everybody, okay. The schools use different platforms. Got it. I'll have to check, Miss Earl, on this a workshop to get Canvas on your personal computer. Are you able to take yourself off of mute and provide me with a little more context? You mean you as a parent putting the Canvas app? Are you not able to access the Canvas? I just want to make sure I can get you the right answer. If you can't take yourself off of mute and you want to just put that response in the, oh, okay, got it. If you can just, maybe I will put my email address back in the chat, and if you can follow up with me by email and we can have a conversation so I can understand a little bit more about the challenge that you're having being able to access Canvas. Clarity on when students can and cannot turn in late assignments. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And someone seconded that emotion. Okay, getting updates from more than the homeroom teacher from your littles. Ms. Bradford, we're still on question 2. We're getting ready to transition to question 3 in just a second. Ah, okay, JC Carmen. Okay, so some assistance for our families, training and workshops around like hands-on workshops, being able to use the platforms, right? So somewhere you can go to your school or to the BOE and work through some of those. Okay, thumbs up that. Got it. Oh, okay, I think I caught them all. Okay, I am going to, you all don't even know how I appreciate your insight and your perspective and your feedback so, so, so much. And I want to assure you that we are not just listening in one ear and going out another ear. We are going to make some changes, make some improvements, make some recommendations to our school leadership team to be able to better support you and do what we can. So thank you so, so, so much. And our last question is, how can we foster more successful school and family interactions and partnerships? So we may have touched on some of this in the other questions, but if you can think of something that your school can do or your district can do to build stronger relationships with you, to partner better, collaborate better, let us know. Ms. Bradford. Did you still want your hand up, Ms. Bradford?
Yes, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I would say we can foster more successful relationships by just staying on top of interacting with families. I only know because I'm gonna get better at this myself because me and our face liaison at Garfield talked about it today about like when we notice a student is habitually absent, we make that initial contact like, hey, I noticed so and so was absent. By not letting parent teacher conference be the first interaction that we're having with parents, making an effort maybe like once a month, just like, hey, reach out. I just wanted to talk to you about student A's progress this month or good things that I've noticed this month. Like, here's what we plan on doing next month. Just encouraging parents like, hey, I do see your child. I thank you for bringing your child to school, just so we can build that relationships through the year and just not during parent-teacher conferences or IEP meetings.
Got that. Thank you. So more positive interactions to be able to build that relationship.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you. That is one of the goals of the FACE liaisons, is to make at least 30 positive outreach calls or contacts a month. And so we can see what we can do about expanding that goal and having more than just the liaison, reach out in that way, maybe encouraging teachers to do the same thing. Did you want to add something else, Ms. Bradford?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just getting better at it because I know we started the year doing it during professional development time. We would have times where we would pick a random student, either in a class or another student, and we would handwrite postcards, and our principal would mail them out. And it was just nice to see the students light up like, hey, you sent me a piece of mail. So I will get better about doing that because I do notice like we did have the winter, like the breaks and the winter days, things get lost. So I want to continue that, especially as we get into the end of the year. I know it gets warm out, so people think they don't have to come to school, but just encourage them to keep coming because we are doing exciting things.
Yes, love that. And I don't see any hands right now, so I'm just gonna read what's in the chat. Lauren, and then I'll come back to you, Miss Mack. Shout out to Garcia. They surveyed parents and teachers and adapted their back to school nights to be more community oriented and not sit and get. All the teachers were there because it was the nights. Okay, which is excellent. Okay, so when teachers are not encouraged to come to school events, it's hard to see them in those casual ways. So I know why teachers can't always make it, but Garcia is a great example of how to change with the times. That's great. Dorothy encouraged parent feedback. At Hale Cook, had 50 students and 10 families at back to school night. It seems like a full room, but it really wasn't looking at the number of students that you had. Miss Earl, middle school teachers at FLA send weekly reports so parents know the child's progress. Maybe other teachers can try that. That's great. And I'm gonna just stop really quickly. I'll keep reading here in a second, but this is one of the reasons why we like to have such a diverse group participate in these meetings. So on this call, we have parents and guardians and board members and principals and VPs and teachers and face liaisons, so we can all have this conversation and all kind of hear what is going on in our buildings and be able to think, like, get the wheels turning. What are some little adjustments that I can make? I see what another school is doing. That's interesting. Maybe that's something that we can implement. Back to JC Carmen, admin is transparent with questions from parents. Many parents have the same thing, so maybe having an FAQ for parents and a tracker, so when those questions get answered, everybody can go back and reference those. That's a great idea. Miss Earl, somebody's cooking in the background, so at 7:30, I'm gonna eat good, guys. Also, parents, let's ask our kids open-ended questions like, what's the hardest thing you had to deal with, or what did you like? Instead of maybe just, how was your day? I'm a how was your day kind of gal, and I need to ask more pressing questions and dig a little deeper. So I think that's great. Wilmore, I'm going to pass along the info about Garcia. Great, thank you. Miss Mack.
I want to give a shout out to Miss Carla over at Faxon because she's the face liaison over there. And I know we're doing an attendance program, and that was really successful. Kids like to get a reward. They like to, for us to give them a shout out and thank you for coming to school today. And I would always give them a word of encouragement in the morning time. So that's some of the things that we had done at Faxon, just to kind of put it out there, let the scholars know, hey, you are important. We love to see you here every day. But also, I think that they should have like a reward ceremony, like maybe twice a year, letting the scholars know, hey, this time this student did this, achieved in this way, especially after testing. Because I know last year I was listening on the DAC meeting, and a lot of students had excelled. But maybe some parents, they know kids like to hear their name called, and they're like for their parents to be at the school and to receive a certificate. So maybe that's a way that some schools just could start engaging, because I know that they used to do it in Faxon, but we hadn't done it this year, and I know there's been a lot of difficulties in the weather.
Okay, and shout out to Miss McBride at Hale Cook and Miss Williams with DARE for the fifth graders. I'm gonna get NR, and then I'm gonna put the link to the form. So as you think of anything else, if you also want to work with me on looking at changing some policies and having a deeper conversation than we're able to have right here, if you will email me your name, if you will email me, so I have your contact information, that would be great. I would love to partner and collaborate with you all as we kind of make some adjustments and make some recommendations. So C. Adams 1. NR will be our last question. And then I see that board member Kendricks is on. So we'll go back up to the board member part if she wants to say anything. And then Alicia Kennedy is on. And so we'll go to her part. But NR, you can go ahead and take yourself off mute and share.
I just had a question about the Missouri model for trauma-informed schools. Is that implemented in all the schools or only certain schools? Because I've noticed that I have a child that even has meetings, and I attend to those meetings, but I have other students like that they don't have those type of things. So I'm wondering, is it like for all schools or just certain schools?
Well, I hate to put anyone on the spot.
I am here.
Okay. Thanks,
Hi,
Josie.
No problem. Excuse me. Hi, this is Josie Herrera, and I am the Executive Director of Student Support Services. And I just wanted to let everyone know, yes, that our goal is to become a trauma-informed school district, which means we are working to help move all schools to that trauma-informed platform, including all of our staff attending trauma awareness training. It's a 2-hour training based on the Missouri model. All of your schools should have trauma meetings, and you are all welcome. Parents are also invited to be a part of those. It's made up the principal, your trauma clinician, your counselor, your nurses typically on that, and some other leadership team members and parents. And it's looking at our practices and our approach and our response and making sure that we're moving to a trauma response in how we deal with each other, how we interact with children. Are we welcoming all of our families in a trauma-informed response? It kind of covers 12 different indicators, but the goal is there should be trauma team meetings happening at all buildings. And if they are not happening, feel free again to reach out to your school administrator to get more information about it, because they could be happening, but maybe you're just not aware of it. And our clinicians do turn in those meeting notes, and we support in any way we can with our behavior specialist, Alicia Smith, and Travana Alexander Tony oversees all of the clinicians and is supporting them in moving our school district in that format.
Josie, can you put your email address in the chat, just in case she wants to connect with that family that doesn't feel like they're being supported like they should, so she can reach out to you and you can maybe look into it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Kendricks, if you have anything, we would love to hear from you.
I do not have anything. I am just here to listen. And I felt bad about being called out because I was not prepared with anything. I did not talk to the board about what we were going to talk about, but I always try to show up for SAC simply because we understand as a board that you all are the owners of our district, that our most important thing that we do is making sure that we are meeting the needs of our students, or that we are supporting our staff, our superintendent in doing so. Our superintendent supports the staff. And so I just want for all of the families to know this is where I come from as far as my leadership in education. I came out of SAC and DAC. And as a board, we really, really value you and feel like the feedback that you give helps us to meet those needs and makes us a better district. So again, thank everybody who's on here for the feedback you're giving. And I'm looking forward to see how we move this district forward together. And I know you guys have talked about the bond. So of course, we are looking to get some more money to meet the needs of our students, especially when it comes to capital. And you can find all the board's information on our website. If you go to About and Board, if you'd like, I can put my email in the chat, but you can always get in contact with the board. Most of the time we'll tell you that you're going to go back to admin because we have a process for going through that, but we will always be willing to help you through that process of holding us accountable. So again, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, Jamaica. And do we have Elisa on for the voter phone banking excerpts? Okay, I'm putting my church finger up. If she hops in, can someone let me know?
It's showing that she's on, but I can go ahead and cover it really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So one of the initiatives we're working on now is we've launched a voter phone bank, and we just have a few more days to go with the bank. So every Monday through Thursday, the team has been rocking and rolling and reaching out to our unregistered KCPS families just to encourage them to register. So the phone bank will be tomorrow from 4 to 6. Oh, okay. Alicia, if you want to hop in and take it away, you can. If not, I'll keep going. Okay, from 4 to 6 at the BOE, or you can participate remotely. Don't worry if you've never participated in a phone bank before. Training is provided, and you can sign up. I'll put the link in the chat if you're interested in volunteering. Even if you're only able to come. Oh, it's trying to get off mute. I'll wait. Even if you're only able to come for a portion of that time or just one of those days, we would love to have some support and really be able to connect with as many families as possible. And then once the voter registration deadline is over, there may be some additional opportunities to just reach out to families. Alicia, are you able to get off mute? Okay, I don't think so. Garth, you have a question?
Just being clear, this phone banking is, you said there's only a few days left, but it's mostly about getting people registered to vote. There will be more phone banking behind it that will be getting people to the polls and voting yes.
I
Is
don't
that a
know
good
about voting
assumption?
yes. I don't know about voting yes. We can only encourage
Okay,
people to vote with this particular phone banking effort.
I get you.
So
Okay, I
yes,
understand. I understand.
say it again, Garth. I'm sorry. Oh,
I get what you're saying. I understand.
okay. Yes, so they're in talks of potentially having some additional opportunities beyond the 12th, so stay tuned. We will certainly let you know if there are any additional opportunities to come and help just a big voter encouragement, maybe something related to early voting and encouraging families to vote early. But we do have quite a few families that aren't registered to vote, so this first push is just around that.
So
And I will,
Garth, I figured out what the issue was. Sorry about that, Courtney.
no problem.
Garth, the campaign is actually doing some of that, and there's a couple other advocacy groups that are doing some of the actual campaign work, getting people to mobilizing and organizing around that. And so the Say Yes campaign has some opportunities to sign up for that. You may see it on the Facebook group site, some opportunities. Molly Fleming is doing some of that work as well. So for the actual campaign part of it, mobilizing,
I
organizing,
sure
yes,
do.
that. So
I'm
that
taking all this to Jobs with Justice, and we've got a whole effort. I just didn't know if it needed to land in this phone banking, but
and
we
I
have a whole
actually
thing
tell you
going on.
that this is actually prefacing to that. So we did some scrubbing and found out that almost half of the parents of KCPS students from a preliminary search, it's kind of like like an unscientific process, were not registered. And so this was us really just calling through that list to just prompt them and saying, hey, we want you to know this, that there's an election coming up and we want you to be able to participate. Can we assist you by verifying your voter registration status and assist you with registering you to vote? So that's the calls that we're making right now with these dates that you see on the screen.
That is great strategy. That's really good forethought. I credit you. Thank you.
Yeah, so we need as many hands on deck between now and the 12th to assist with that. We are making the ask to verify and help assist with registration, understanding there are literacy and language barriers with some of these families we're calling, but the real test is just one, letting them know that the opportunity exists and that there's a window to get them engaged. And Garth, the next step in with the work that you guys are doing, we want to help them understand that early voting is the next opportunity, which starts on March 25th, and to encourage them to participate in early voting. So we're going to figure out how we're going to work around that, understanding that we have limited operational capacity and what we can say when we contact them. But the first key is for us to just let them know that they've got to get registered and pushing them there. So any help we can get with making these calls between now and March 12th, we appreciate it. We're doing them here at the district Monday through Thursday. And then I've got a virtual option that you guys can participate in. If you can't come to the physical location, just send it, click the sign up link and or send an email and we can get you plugged in with a call list.
10-4, Roger.
All right.
Thank you. So, yes. Oops. Okay. So right now we are going to pivot to the DAC engagement session. So what we wanted to start with, it is that time of the year that the DAC Executive Board election will be happening soon. So we really wanted to put the bug in your ear. If you're someone who genuinely cares about our students and amplifying our parent organization groups, this will be the the area for you to be able to do that in whatever capacity that you have at the moment. So what I wanted to start off is by giving you guys an overview of what positions we have and pretty much what they entitle. It's a brief overview, and the DAC has bylaws that goes into depth of what those positions are and what you pretty much do with that in that position. So I know I'm going over, but I really wanted to get this in because this is something that's imperative. So as you guys know, the District Advisory Committee, it's a group of caregivers, family members, community members that serves KCPS in advisory capacity. We provide information and support to parents and caregivers, parent organizations, and school districts. And we are tasked, and we really would like to have some form of parent organization group in every school. So we like to keep that on the forefront. Coming from a school that had no parent organization to one that has a very robust parent organization, I really get to see both ends of it. So in my position, the DAC really wants to make sure that every KCPS school has some form of parent organization. My name is Brittany Foley. I am the chairperson this year. What my position entails is by going to all of our general meetings like this one, setting up and organizing our DAC board meetings, being able to go to school tours, to be able to visit schools and visit parents that may have any types of questions or concerns. So that's my position as a chairperson. I spend around 10 to 15 hours, sometimes more, a week in my volunteer position as the DAC executive chair. Another important that we have is our corresponding secretary. So that person is usually in charge of taking the notes and making sure all of the minutes and newsletters are distributed to every school and everyone who's interested in what the DAC has going up. Another really important position which I served before I became the DAC chair. I'm sorry, I'm getting them confused. The recording secretary was the role that I was at last year before I became the DAC chairs, really getting those minutes out, making sure that everyone has up-to-date newsletters and things of that. And the next one is the recording secretary. Usually see Janae, she's in that position now. She is making sure the Teams and the Zoom works. She's answering questions in the chat. She's making sure our tech is up and running. And right now I'm going to pass to our vice chair to go over her position, the treasurer, the parliamentarian, and the member at large. So Ashley.
Good evening, everyone. Peace and blessings. My name is Ashley, and I will tell you a little bit about my position and a couple more others. So basically, I am Brittany's right hand. As the vice chair, I do a lot of assisting in preparing agendas, some directives, conduct some of the formal board assessments. And also just my basic duty is whenever Brittany is absent, really step in, hone into that, listening to the feedback of our other board members, and just really hone in on, and because we over here at the DAC, we really believe in shared leadership. And so share within our leadership roles and responsibilities. And the next I wanted to talk about was the parliamentarian position. I do think our parliamentary is on here, but the parliamentary position is a facilitator of our bylaws and our consultant. Overall, the parliamentarian that we have has been wonderful. They house decades of information. and their role is to technically manage some of the bylaws and the policy, and actually is the mentor for the members throughout our board. And our next one that I will be going is our member at large. Our member at large is a board member that's is another member. I'm sorry, y'all. I hate when I'm on meetings and I get phone calls. Basically, our member at large, they serve as a voting person. They take they take on board other responsibility when other members can't I can always use the word dysfunction, but they also is in a collective, collaborative with our board making and decision making processes. And I am going to pass it to our treasurer, and our treasurer give their position, and they have a wonderful, wonderful scholarship information they would like to share with our members. So Shantae, take it away.
Hi, my name is Shantae Carey, and this year I served as the treasurer for the DAC this year. As treasurer, I help to keep track of the expenditures and provide like a monthly report each month. And then also I provided a quarterly report. And at the end of the year, I will provide a end of the year report as well. And being part of the exec board, I had the opportunity of participating in our annual enrollment day that was located at Central High School. I also stepped up and participated in the Block Back to School Bash, the legislation bus tour. I've also had the opportunity of participating in the KCPS parent empowerment, and then the amplifying and training course. So that's also the Vote Yes for Kids, which everyone will be doing on April 8th. And then also I had the opportunity of putting together a scholarship for DAC. So this year we will have the opportunity of acknowledging 6 of our graduating qualifying seniors. It'll be 6 of them, and we will be giving out a book scholarship for the amount of $500. So we're very excited to put forward this information, and it should be out I'll give it to Courtney tomorrow, and we should be able to present it to everyone by Friday. And we're just looking to help out just 6 graduating seniors that need help with any type of books or any type of supplies that they need to get for their next year school year. And it's open to like any graduating senior, so they can be enrolled in a 2-year, 4-year university or a technical institute. And just as long as we do have some qualifying information that they do have to qualify for, but as long as they meet the requirements, then we're going to accept 6 graduating seniors. And this is also opened up to Anderson as well as KCVA. Thank you.
And thank you, Shantae. I really wanted to spend this time to urge everyone to join. If this is something that you always wanted to do, go ahead and do it. When I was just a DAC delegate, I thought that it may probably be too much to me, but you know what? It's not. You can always find something on the DAC board that you're passionate about. Like my passion started out as being able to tour the schools, and as a DAC board, we made that happen. So you'll be able to submit your nominations from April the 1st will be opened up, and the elections will happen at our May 1 meeting. For the voting body, it will be the DAC delegates only. There's 1 vote per school and the DAC executive board. And I just really wanted to make this clear from the start that this is not just a seat at a table or a sitting duck role. The DAC executive committee is a seat of purpose. We need to use our role to be able to amplify our parent organizations, whether they're smaller or whether they're bigger, and to be able to be a voice for the students and the families that may not be heard. Hopefully this next year coming up, we're gonna have a good DAC board where everyone could collaborate and we can really get some parent organizations at every school. That's one of our main purposes. So do anyone have any quick questions? We'll go on to our, try to get in a little bit about the different parent organizations that we have in the district. So any questions, raise your hand or even drop them in the chat. Okay. All right. So in this portion of the engagements session, we really wanted to just dive into the different PTAs, PTOs, SACs. What are they? What's different, and even have a little engagement session for different organizations can say what's successful at their school, what's not successful, and even a time for the schools that don't really have a parent organization can speak up and say, tell us their needs, and we will be able to collaborate on the same front. So usually what a SAC is, so the purpose of a SAC, and I want you guys to know that the DACs and the SACs, we have a board policy, and it's board policy 4.7. And it really goes into the purpose of what the district advisory committee is and the purpose of the SACs and how we all work together. So if your school has a SAC, raise your hand. I know Northeast has one, and Melanie Gomez does a really good job at bringing everyone together. But the SACs provide a forum for the parents, teachers, students, community members in the district to be able to discuss school and district issues, promote parent and community participation, or even talk about any advice to the school principal, the district, Dr. Collier. And I think Lisa, I see someone with the SACs. I am sharing, so I have very limited view. So I think I first saw, I don't know whose hand went up first. Was it Lisa? Lisa, do you have a SAC? And if so, what school are you at?
Yes, we have a SAC at Central Middle School. It's run by the principals, though, not run by the parents.
Oh. How often do you guys meet?
They host meetings every month.
Okay, they keyword host meetings every month. Do they have good turnout at the meetings?
It has not been good turnout, and I did share with them that the time I thought was an issue. They have it at 5 p.m., which is hard for me to get there myself, but it is in the middle of like parent pickup time from after school clubs, so I can understand why they chose that time to try to get those parents that are arriving at that time.
Okay, they said Central Middle. Dorothy, I see your hand up. Dorothy Harris.
She may not be able to be off mute, but she's the face liaison at Wendell Phillips.
Okay. And any other face SAC schools, just speak out if you'd like, because I cannot see. Or if Shantae or Ashley could let me know what's going on in the comments, I would greatly
King,
appreciate that.
Paseo, Southeast, SACs.
Okay.
Southeast is just getting started this year, so that's exciting. Lincoln Middle has a SAC. I mean, I can run down the names. I don't know if they're on here or not. Northeast, Northeast Middle, Northeast High is getting one off the ground.
Melcher has.
And Melcher has a SAC.
Melcher's on, yeah.
Okay, great.
Faxon has something like a SAC, a parent empowerment group.
And
I
then
think just about everybody that's on, if it's not a PTO or PTA, it's a SAC.
Okay. And do we have any PTAs in the chats?
Yeah, holiday.
Okay. Holiday. And how long have y'all been operated? Have been a PTA at Holiday?
So my daughter started with P4 the school year of 23. So she's in kindergarten now. It was a PTA when I got there. I'm not sure if we have any senior holiday members, but I believe it's been several years now.
Okay, cool. And then any PTOs? Okay. So it looks like we have a really good mix of both free and then in some in the session today. So I know we have a number of schools that don't have PTAs. So if there's any members in the group who are thinking about joining a parent organization at your school, or you may not have one, if you could email our DAC or email Courtney so we can link you up with the DAC board and even see if we can get you in touch with a strong parent organization, along with some tools to get you started. And for the existing parent organizations in the group, I'd really like to see like what was successful at your school this year. What is something that you really enjoyed? What is your favorite part? I feel like I can start out at Hell Cook. This is my first, I think, going on second year at Hell Cook. And what I really enjoyed that our PTA did was the ice cream social at the beginning of the year. They had the ice cream truck out. I got to meet my son's teachers. My son is a fifth grader at Hell Cook, and also see different parents. For me being hard to tell that I'm shy, it was good for me to get out and meet some of friends and get to see what's going on there. So that was my favorite highlight at Hell Cook. Being somewhat of a new parent still, I think that they were very open and engaging to get new parents and old parents involved. And Miss Mack, I see your question is up, your hand is up.
At Faxon, we have the parent empowerment group, and our group decided to make cotton candy at the end of the year, right before the Christmas break, as a kind of, hey, good job, keep up the good work, enjoy your holiday break. So a lot of the parents got together, we volunteered our time all day to make cotton candy for the entire school.
Wow. I bet the kids love that. Was it at the end of the day too?
So we made it throughout the day so they can actually see. So the kindergartners, they were really excited because, they don't get to see how cotton candy is made. And so they were really excited. And so it was fun just to see their smile on their faces and hand them out the cotton candy at the end of the day.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds real fun. Any other successful things that happened with your parent organization for anyone out there?
I'm with Hale Cook PTA, and we just had trivia night. I'm a kindergarten parent, so that was new for me. And I think it had really good attendance because there was like 20 something tables with 8 people per table. And we brought in like silent auction items from all types of businesses in the community to raise money, and also had other ways to raise money. And I think we raised like 30,000 maybe by the end of the night. So it was a big success, and I'm new to Hale Cook, but I think they've been doing that event for quite a while. It's established. And I don't know if anyone else wants to chime in from Hale Cook, but that was really cool to see.
And Sarah, or anyone else who can answer this question for me, there's times where I speak to parents, like before I came to Health Cook, we didn't have an organization. But when you get together and you start fundraising, what are some things that you guys spend your fundraising money on? Like, do you do kind of like stuff for the students? Is it probably like, I know we had a cool coffee bar for the teachers. What are some things that we are able to do once we come together in numbers and start fundraising for our organizations?
I will hop in. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's okay, Courtney. I was just gonna say I've been typing because my voice is a little hoarse, but we have some every year we focus on like student engagement because that's always something that's desired. So we do things for the teachers. So like if teachers want an additional field trip or if they have some sort of activity that they would like to bring in. We try and do like one of those for each class. Our principal really tries to make sure that it's equitable, that each class gets an opportunity to do that. Yeah, we did a coffee cart for the teachers coming back in January. And the staff, we made sure all staff get that. We also will replenish like the staff lounge a few times a year so that way they feel valued and appreciated. But a lot of it, we try and focus on like student engagement and what are some of the student experiences. That's always a really big focus. So we've painted the cafeteria. 2 years ago, we raised money to put out soccer goalposts because our kids wanted to play soccer, but we didn't have any goalposts. And so if there's something that's bigger, we usually try and get feedback in our PTA meetings of what is something that you're looking for or something from our principal. And then we vote on that to discuss, okay, is that something that we want to try and raise money for? And we have found that if there's something that we have gathered feedback around and we've talked to our principal about, and it's like, yes, this would be really helpful for our students. This is something that they would want. If we have something like that, like the soccer goalpost or new sunshades, having that as we fundraise really encourages our fundraising because then families know where it's going towards. So that's been really helpful. And those are just a few things. Courtney, you can add whatever is most helpful too.
Yeah, I was thinking about Carver and Mr. Murphy put something in the chat only because the FACE liaison just sent me this write-up yesterday of a fundraising effort that they had I thought was pretty cool. So they started a soccer program for K through 6 students, and they have 4 teams with the YMCA with 15 youth in each team. And they raised $3,000 through I think just over chocolate sales, World's Finest Chocolate.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's really exciting for them to be able to have that program now. So I wanted to highlight that because I just found out about it yesterday. But I love to hear too, there are some great things that you guys are putting in the chat from Phillips, from FLA, Hale Cook. But I love how you all are intentional about checking with the principal and the staff there and surveying the families to see like we have this money or what do you want to raise money for? So to have that collaborative process. So I love to hear that. That's great.
And I think Ashley, do you want to say something about building community partners and community parents?
Yes, 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 yes. So we have a collective group of community parents. The majority of the community is already parents, community organizing parents within all of our school districts. The name of the organization is KC Parent Power. KC Parent Power is designed to introduce emerging parent leaders to community organization concepts. The outcomes that we're all looking for is to encourage the concepts of self-interest and begin to explore what we can see in our child's school and in KCPS for our short and our long-term visions. Encounter the concept of power as we understand it in organizing to better understand that how power works in education and upcoming power opportunities, i.e. the bond, and other power building initiatives. We explore one-on-one conversation as a central tool to build this team And also getting clarification on action plans on how we want to build power within your school. And also that's how that's centered within your community and your self-interest. And so I will drop the email within that. And that's the community parents that are powder building here in Kansas City.
Thank you, Ashley. A goal, what we plan on, what we plan on doing throughout the April is reaching out to the schools with really good parent organizations, SACs, PTAs, and seeing how we can come together and have a sheet on how we can have parent leaders in the district. So along with the different parent organizations and things like Parent Power Lab, we'd really like to get together and make sure all of our who Sigma, can you mute? I sounds like there's a dog back there, baby. Okay, thank you. But what I'm saying is have an interest of coming up, we're having a training session so we can make sure every school across the board is equitable. So I just wanted to leave it on that. If you know of a school or if you attend a school that doesn't have a parent org, please shoot the DAC or Courtney an email so we can have a time to have the board come out and see how we can really get one started at your school. And I see Alicia with your hand up.
Hey, Brittany, thank you for the opportunity. And I don't know if this is a great time or an opportunity for me to kind of put this plug in here. My name is Alicia Smith, and I am the manager of behavioral health with the Kansas City Public School District. And I love to hear about all of the various PTA, PTO, SAC committees and occurring throughout the district. I'm not sure that in relation to the question, there was a question earlier about if the whole district or if every school was becoming a model trauma-informed school district. And then yes, we are. That is a district initiative. That is a district goal. And one of the ways that we are doing that is making sure that we are providing all of our staff with the foundational trauma awareness training. We are pleased to announce that we are have already met our goal with making sure that 80% of staff have received that training. And now we're in the process of trying to reach out to SAC and PTA and PTO committees so that we can provide this training to our parents, our caregivers, and our community members. So I have requested and made contact with all of our FACES liaisons. Some of them have provided contact information for some of you, and I have actually reached out and talked to some, vice chairs or chairs of the organizations to request the opportunity for us to provide those training. If I have not, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat. Hopefully someone can reach out to me for those schools or those, like I said, organizations that I haven't spoken with so that we can see if we can get on the agenda for some of these meetings so that we can provide that information to, like I said, our different buildings. We think that having this information is a great opportunity for parents to understand, one, what we're doing, also to understand the information and the training that we're providing to our staff, but then also so they can understand how this information and how trauma impacts not only our students, how that impacts us, how that impacts adults, and then the implications of what that looks like when students are showing up to school, as well as equipping parents to be able to advocate for their students as well. So again, I don't want to hijack, and I just thought that this was a great opportunity to just kind of put that plug out there. And again, if there's questions, I'll put my information in the chat so that maybe we can start conversations surrounding that.
Thank you, Alicia, and thank you so much for that useful information. I really like that the district is going towards and really pursuing like this trauma-informed model because it's something that's needed in today's era, and it's something that impacts us on a daily basis. Okay. So I really wanted to, I want to end this out by the call to action. April 1st, the nominations will be open, the application. If you're interested in being a part of the DAC Executive Committee next year, please email Courtney. We'll get you an application out that you can fill out. And again, I just want to push that this is a position where we're an advocate for our parent organizations and our peers and our families. Come and apply. ready to serve, not just for the title, but for the greater district, for the greater good of our students and our parent organizations. And I just wanted to wrap up and say thank you so much for the coming through and doing the virtual thing. And I hope to see you all in person on May the 1st for our nominations and for our last meeting. So thank you guys and have a good day. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, y'all. Who?
You know I'm laughing at you, Brittany.
Brittany, and Shantae. I think I think Steve is on here too. Are we debriefing on this link, or we debriefing after? I mean, on a phone call.
Yeah, let's debrief on a phone call.
Okay. Let me go ahead and end this meeting because this is crazy.